Hey everybody, welcome back to Throttle Grotto. So today our project is going to be twofold. One is we are going to put a heated seat kit in this seat, and the other is we're going to swap rails from a junkyard seat to this seat for the Rally Prius. Now, what is this seat? This is an FRS seat. Way more comfortable than the bench seat that came in the car. I'm kind of blazing ground here. I have no idea if this is actually going to work or not. I haven't. I've taken some measurements off the seat. I bought these off of a junkyard and had them shipped here. They were pretty cheap for all things considered. A really nice seat, good bolstering, got leather on the sides, so should be a lot more comfortable, but I have to figure out if this is going to work or not. So you can follow along, and I will show you the steps I'm taking as I'm going, and we're going to see if I can get these to bolt into the car by just swapping the rails. And if that works, then we are going to put some heated seats in here because I already have the wiring in the car. So then my bum and my back can be nice and toasty for the winter. So let's get to it. All right, so here are our driver's side rails for the Prius C that I found at the junkyard. Not too many of them in the junkyard yet, so it's good. I've got the handles, I've got the sliders, but first thing we need to do is get these off and see how similar they are. So they actually come off really easy. There's literally like 3 or 4 bolts that hold them on either side. You can get to them like right here. When I got these seats in the mail, I was amazed at how easy this looked like it was going to be. So I will show you guys on the driver's side how easy these are to get off of here. Literally, on the driver's side it's 3 on the driver's side of the seat, it's 3 on the passenger side of the seat, there's 4. Literally that easy to get these off of there. Now that we have the sliders off the seat, we can take the other Toyota ones, and we can put them side by side. I actually don't believe this. Okay, so here we have the driver's side sliders. Here we have the passenger side sliders. Both of these are for the driver's seat. So you can see has the same number of studs. They're actually in the same locations. Literally the only difference is where the mounting tabs are for the seats. So these, the ones on this side, the left side of each of these, are the FRS sliders, and these are the Prius C sliders. So I think this portion of the swap is going to be really easy. Alright, so I'm going to set you guys up inside my dirty daily here to see if we can make this happen. It's not really difficult to get these seats out. There's 4 little clips here that snap over the seats, cover the bolt holes. Now, the tricky part is you will need an E10 socket to do this. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but an E10 is a different type of spline than a Torx. And then it's the same behind the seat. 2 bolts, whole seat comes out. That did not go as easily as I'd hoped it would. And I'll show you that. So, even though it bolts up, I think this seat is just a little bit narrower. I'll drop this bolt down here so you can hopefully see. We are... Oh man, there we go. I'm gonna aim you guys right. So we're about a ½ an inch, about 10 or 12 mils off for you guys on the running on the metric system. Wow, okay. So this is going to take a little creative solution to see if I can get this to work. So the other thing that this tells me though is that I really need to get another seat and take the Prius seat apart and see what's going on internally with the seat, because this Toyota seat has way less plugs on it. It has looks to be 2 airbag plugs and a completely different plug for the seat belt scenario. But as long as I got the seat over here. So the other difference is the Prius seat belt doesn't lock into this receptacle. So we are going to have to go back to the drawing board a little bit on this and shelf this for a little while till we can figure out. I'm going to have to get some more parts in order for this to work. So I will be continuing this install at a later date, and then I will just combine all the video together. So I'm a little disappointed that it wasn't quite that easy, but I can always figure out a way to modify it. Actually, it's another day, and we're back here working on the FRS seats for the Rally Prius. I went to the junkyard and got an extra set of seatbelt receptacles for a Prius C off of a seat that was grenaded. So somebody had knifed the seat, and probably just out of general Prius hate. So it's really, really straightforward to swap these over. All we have to do is unbolt them and then run the wiring for the Prius seat instead, or seat belt instead of the FRS one. Just so you can see, It's actually the right size and everything. It just goes right on there. No adapting or anything. It just replaces the FRS one perfectly. So look at that, I got one extra clip on there, which is not a big deal. So literally that easy to configure this for the other. Okay, so now we are at the point where we can do the heated seat pad installation. So we don't need to take the rails off because that would be crazy. So there are a few things that we do need to do in order for us to get to the foam that we can lay the pad underneath the fabric. So what makes sense to me is this hole right here in the seat, which is like a pretend five-point harness hole. I believe it's for the seat airbag. I think they use the same cushion left or right, but I think there's a driver's side airbag that inflates under the thighs. So it makes sense to me that that would be the most logical place to run the wires, just straight out through the hole, and it's pretty easy to get to. So that's what I'm going to do. Now we've got enough room to work this heat pad up into the seat without too much drama. Well, I say that now. I spoke too soon. I'm going to have to take out another set of hog rings in order for this to be effective. So our pad is now back installed into the seat. The wiring has run out the back of the seat, so we can run it down once we have this all buttoned up. We are ready to reinstall the seat fabric and get this all stretched back down, and then this seat will be ready to install in the car. Zip ties are probably less abrasive than hog rings, so maybe the seat will last longer. The seat is back together. The pads are inside. just like a cursory rundown. I can feel a little bump here and there from the pads, but really it's pretty stealth job. And the next thing will be to get them in the car and get the heated seats wired up so that I can use them. I still need to get a couple of resistors. So one of the differences between the Prius seat and the FRS seat, and probably the biggest one, aside from the cool shape, is the Prius one has a thigh airbag, and it mounts in the pan underneath the seat, and like, I don't know what it does. I think maybe it keeps you from sliding forward if there's an accident. But these seats have a nice bowl to them, so you're not going to slide forward, so that's probably why they didn't use them. I have to get resistors to make sure that the airbag system's not thrown out of whack by not having those thigh airbags hooked up. So the side ones will plug in just like they did, and all will be good with the system. That is the end of this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will most likely have the only Prius C with FRS seats. So if you're thinking about doing it, it's not very difficult to do. Get a seat, FRS seats or BRZ, and get an extra set of Prius seats that you can take stuff off of. If you're not going to put your Prius C seats back in the car, you can use those. Take the rails off, take the seat belt things off, the receptacles, use the wiring for those, transfer them to the FRS seats, and then you'll remember you'll have to modify the rails a little bit to make the holes a little bit wider in the rear mount for the tracks to line up. But all in all, it's a pretty easy swap. You can bolt them in. I'm setting mine up so that I can swap back and forth because I need to have the driver's seat swappable for rallycross events, and so my passenger will get a nice comfortable seat and I won't. But that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to our subscribers. Thanks to everybody that's been commenting and shooting me emails and all that stuff. Really appreciate all of your support and advice. So until next time, thanks for watching Throttle Grotto. Get out there and work on something.